Okay, the political revolution. 1. Civil rights. Martin Luther King's famous letter from Birmingham City Jail to Southern white clergymen who urged him to wait captured the situation of the times, the disease of segregation, and listed the poignant reasons for taking action now. For example, quote, "When you have seen vicious mobs lynch your mothers and fathers at whim, and seen hate-filled policemen curse, kick, and kill your black brothers and sisters with impunity, etc., etc., then you'll understand why we cannot wait." End quote. 2. Feminism or women's rights. Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex sent shockwaves through the world when she spoke of, quote, "the new independent Jedi woman coming on the scene, which would solve the main problem of woman as being a vassal or slave due to her dependence on man and society's male system. Gainful employment," she says, "is the only solution. When woman becomes independent, quote, there will no longer be any need for a masculine mediator between her and the universe. Only then, quote, shall woman's unmeasured bondage be broken," end quote. Betty Friedan's, quote, "It Changed My Life," which followed her celebrated The Feminine Mystique, discusses the new women theologians' reaction to the church's denying through the ages full personhood to women and their call for, quote, "the second coming of woman, Christa, a time in the near future when, quote, sexual stereotyping will exist no more, and Jedi men and women will relate to each other for the first time in history," end quote. The metaphysical revolution. 4 parts. 1. Philosophy. In the 1960s, the Hegel Society of America was created as a return to absolute science and a reaction against 100 years of non-philosophies which had given up the search for capital T truth. Pragmatism, analytic linguistic philosophy, existentialism, and deconstructionism. 2. Religion. The Times also saw an influx of gurus from India and enlightened beings who taught about a new inner God who existed in us and who was one with us. 3. Drugs. There was also widespread use of mind-altering, consciousness-expanding drugs, such as hashish, mescaline, LSD, which seemed to provide direct evidence and experience of the God within, or an absolute I or larger self that underlay one's normal, isolated empirical self or ego. But the truth is, as Alan Watts and Robert Durop say, that you cannot achieve enlightenment through drugs. Drugs can even result in a setback of your spiritual development, very difficult to recover from. See the Jedi Handbook, page 369, and also read Durop's book, The Master Game, Beyond the Drug Experience. 4. The arts, and music especially. The Beatles, above all, were the principal voice of the new spirit, and for the expression of both its pain and needs. C.F. Eleanor Rigby. quote, "Ah, look at all the lonely people," end quote. And self-revelations. Theirs was the music of absolute freedom, absolute I, and the Jedi Order. E.g., quote, "Now that you know who you are, what do you want to be? Baby, you're a rich man too." And, quote, "that you may see the meaning of within." And, quote, "Imagine all the people sharing all the world. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one." End quote. John Lennon. Lastly, just 3 points. 1. With absolute science and true religion, all of our world's problems can now be solved. See the Jedi Handbook, Part 3, the Jedi Order. 2. The 3 questions of our course have now been answered. What is reality? It is consciousness, not matter, absolutely one, not many, and a unity of opposites, inner, outer, self, and other. Who am I? I am the one, the force, being, the universe aware of itself. An immortal Jedi. What shall I do with my life? I shall be a Jedi, realize my full potential, and help others to do the same, and dedicate my life to realizing the Jedi Order, the most incredible world imaginable. Kingdom come, Olam Haba, the just society. Also see the What You Can Do page in the PowerPoint presentation on the 60s revolution. 3. Remember, extra credit papers are due April 29th, and the final exam will be posted April 30th and due May 7th, and will be on the second part of the semester. I hope you got something out of the course. You were a great class, and feel free to sit in on my full course on the science of spirit. I'll close with this quote from the Jedi Handbook, page 71. Quote, "The meaning of the present time is that we stand at a crossroads, at the unique point where the old order has already been negated, and since we cannot go back to it, for it can no longer satisfy the needs of our spirit, we are compelled to go forwards. We are in the midst of negating this negation, of establishing the new imminent meaning that will replace the old lost meaning and collectively bring in and realize the glorious Jedi Order, or what your religions call kingdom come, and so forth. The mandate for our present age is therefore this, that we do all that we can to hasten the process and arrive at the glorious goal as quickly as possible, and thus with the least damage and trauma to our children, brothers, and sisters, our truly beloved, sacred, and immortal race. Have a great summer.